Alright, so today I'm going to be prepping that CY29RC from DDM Racing. So as you can tell now in stock form, they need a little bit of work, so we're going to have to get rid of the intake and the exhaust. So I got all my parts. I'm going to be reusing my old exhaust, and I got a new air filter here. So first things first, you get the exhaust housing, or that little chrome plastic piece off. 2 screws on one side, another one over here. And it just comes out. For the exhaust, we have 2 long bolts going straight through into the head. Get those out. Alright, and we have a bracket at the bottom holding it directly to the crank. Alright, so remove the gasket, keep that for my exhaust application, given that I don't have a new one. So I put the export, put the manifold, 2 screws in. Almost forgot, a little bit of thread lock. Line everything up. And we're just going to snug both sides a little bit at a time until we get a nice flat seat. And one final little twist, make sure we're nice and tight. Alright, so the stinger piece, the coupling, and this is probably the hardest part here, is trying to pinch everything nice and tight so that we can get the body clip through. It's going to take a little bit of convincing. And we should be able to get that together. Alright, so we're halfway there. I'll tap with the screwdriver and we're in. Alright, so clean everything up. Make our way over to the intake. Take the filter element out. Make sure we got all our pieces here so that way we don't have to reuse if we don't need to. Alright, so same as the exhaust, we have 2 long screws inside the air filter. Keep a hand on the the carburetor, because everything's going to come out. We have an extra little bracket here, which I'm assuming is for an FG or some other 5th scale I don't need, so we're going to pop it off. Reapply the old gasket. Actually, I forgot, we got one in the kit here. So, new gasket. Line up the carb element. 2 screws. And same as the exhaust. A little bit at a time till we get everything nice, tight, and snug. Alright. Alright, so we're good there. Now, the filter itself. Threw that in there, and then I realized afterwards it's not where it went. So I'm going to leave that O-ring to the side. Alright, so the filter, we have one piece that's oiled, which is the inner filter. Alright, slide that on without touching it. And now we have the outer piece. First, we're going to get that coupled to the intake. And this is where I discovered that the O-ring goes on the outside of the air intake. That's why I wasn't able to get that coupler close. Okay, so now with the O-ring in the proper spot, able to snap everything in place. The outside element, plastic retainer plate, forcibly put in that body clip. That was a pain. Couldn't get it lined up. Alright, so body clip in. We're done with that piece. So now reuse the pre-filter from the original motor. Nice and snug over the air filter housing. Tie it nice and tight. Alright, so the air filter piece is done. So now here we're going to put the pre-filter on the pull start. I have to start with dismantling that. Can't emphasize it enough. If you get the knot off, cut it off, whichever you do, don't drop there, don't let go of that rope because you're going to have to spool the whole thing again. So quickly thread it back through the handle, tie a nice knot, hold the pull cord while pulling the handle a few times, make sure it is good and snug. Not that it's hard to recoil, it's time consuming. Alright, so measure out, mock up the Velcro, and we're going to start applying as much as possible. Try not to touch it with the grubby, greasy fingers. So pull out the backing as you're pressing it on the pull start housing. Alright, so done with the Velcro. Now I just have to stretch out the pre-filter. Alright, nice and tight and snug. Alright, move some of this stuff out of our way. And now we're going to go for the pre-filter on the crank, so it's going to keep us from getting dirt and debris underneath there. Alright, so Velcro, same method as earlier, only peel back what's touching. That way you don't get it all dirty, greasy. Get a nice tight fit as we're working our way around the crank. Alright, now by the clutch housing. All the way around. Cut at the top. And now just make sure to attach the cross member pieces. Alright, got that lined up. Quick snip. Make sure nice and snug. Do the same on the opposite side. Line it up, nice snug fit, and trim to fit. Alright, so now to stretch out the pre-filter. Wiggle it in. Make sure to keep an eye on the seam. Might have to press down the Velcro if it does come undone. It will set. Still a little fresh here. Alright. Work our way around. Line it up. Getting pretty meticulous here. That's good to go. Alright, so we're done. Pipe, intake, all the pre-filters are on. We're ready for the install. Guys, thanks for watching. Please thumbs up and subscribe.